All right, future chemists, welcome. Are you ready to crack the code for your Class 12 chemistry exam? Well, in this explainer, we are going to break down the official sample paper and turn it into a winning game plan. Let's go ahead and turn that exam stress into a solid A-plus strategy. 70 marks, 3 hours. I know. It looks like a huge mountain to climb. But trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see it's just a series of puzzles that follow really predictable patterns. And guess what? We're going to solve them together. Ready? Let's dive right in. So, first things first, we're putting on our detective hats. To beat the exam, you have to understand its blueprint. Where do the marks actually come from? Knowing this, well, this is the real secret to studying smarter, not just harder. Okay, so take a look at this. This chart is the big reveal. The 4 and 5 mark questions, the heavy hitters, they make up over half of your total score. Just let that sink in for a second. More than half your entire grade comes from just these 2 question types. This isn't just a bunch of numbers, it's a treasure map, and it's showing us exactly where to dig to find the most points. Now, let's not forget about the other half of the paper. We're moving into what I like to call the rapid-fire round, the small questions. And hey, don't underestimate them. These are quick, easy marks that can seriously boost your score if you're prepared. Think of them as the foundation for your final grade. Here is a perfect example pulled straight out of the sample paper. Which amine gives the carbonyl reaction? This is such a classic from the amines chapter. It's one of those bread and butter questions designed just to check if you've got the basics down. And boom, the correct answer is primary amines. Just knowing that one key reaction gets you a quick point. It's really that simple. And here's another 1 marker from the paper, but this time from biomolecules. This is a pure fact-based question. You either know it or you don't. So do you? And the answer is cobalt. See? This is perfect flashcard material. A little bit of memorization here and you've got yourself some guaranteed marks. You gotta love those easy wins. Now, it's not all multiple choice, by the way. The paper also throws you some 2-mark definition questions, like this one for a peptide bond. You can think of it as the super glue of biology. It's that crucial link that builds proteins. Knowing the official definition is an easy 2 points in the bag. All right, we've covered the quick points. Now let's move into the deeper waters. The sections where just memorizing stuff isn't going to be enough. These questions are designed to test if you really understand the why behind the chemistry. And here's a classic 4-mark question. Tell me the difference between order of reaction and molecularity. This slide lays it out perfectly, but here's an easy way to remember it. Order comes from the lab. It's experimental, it can be a little messy, it can even be a fraction. Molecularity comes straight from the textbook. It's theoretical, clean, and always a whole number. Just think, lab versus textbook. That's your key difference right there. Another high-yield topic is the classic DNA versus RNA comparison. This is a favorite for the examiners, usually for 3 or 4 marks. And as you can see, what they're looking for are those key differences. Deoxyribose versus ribose sugar, thymine versus uracil, and of course, the double versus single helix. Just nail these 3 points and you've secured those marks. Organic chemistry. I know, it can feel like this giant tangled maze, right? But the good news is, the paper gives us a clear map. And that map points directly to the famous named reactions. First up on our tour of named reactions is Kolb's reaction. This is a 5-mark favorite. The slide breaks down the steps, but the story is simple. You take phenol, you treat it with sodium hydroxide and then carbon dioxide, and what do you get? You end up with salicylic acid. Yeah, the same stuff aspirin is made from. Just know the story, know the steps, and those 5 marks are all yours. Next up, we've got the Reamer-Tiemann reaction. This is another exam favorite, and another story that starts with phenol. But this time, we're using chloroform and a base. And the end product? Salicylaldehyde. See that subtle difference in the reactants and products compared to Kolb's? The examiner loves to test if you know these distinct pathways. Okay, let's tackle the big ones. These are the comprehensive questions that can really make or break your final score, so you're going to want to pay close attention here. For any industrial process, like Haber's process, think of it like a recipe. You have to mention the reactants, your ingredients, the specific conditions, like pressure and temperature, and of course, the exact catalyst used. This is precisely what the examiner is looking for to give you those full marks. And finally, we have these what happens when questions. These are all about pure reaction knowledge. No theory, just the equation. So let's look at this example from the paper. What happens when phenol is heated with zinc dust? And the answer is super simple. Benzene is formed. All you need to do is write out the correct, balanced chemical equation. No long explanation needed, just the reaction itself. So, after taking this paper apart piece by piece, what's our master plan? Let's boil it all down into a final, actionable strategy that can guide your revision from here on out. This slide right here, this is your game plan. You should print this out, stick it on your wall. Your energy should be focused on these high-yield areas. Named reactions, numericals, difference between questions, and industrial processes. Mastering these is going to give you the biggest bang for your buck in the time you have left. So, now you've seen the blueprint. The exam isn't some big mystery anymore, is it? So the question on this final slide is really for you. Which chemistry topic seems the most scoring to you? Use what you've learned today to answer that, plan your revision, and walk into that exam feeling confident. You've got this. Good luck!